Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is XAR on Twitch and YouTube. Welcome once again as we continue the case of the guy who fell into a vat of magical hot liquid in Tyrion Cuthbert, attorney of the Arcane. I'm JR. Joining me as per usual, we have Neff Canuck. Hello, sir. Shinigami Liz. Hi, Liz. We have Karam. Hi, Karam. And we have Bree. Bree is back. Bree is back. Hello, Bree. Welcome back, Bree. Hope everything's been going well in your neck of the woods. That was... I see. You made it back okay? Okay, gotcha. But yeah, that was nice, and that's why, you know, Bree was sort of, you know, on and off this last week with him in town. So glad I was able to come out and see you. And so now I'm going to do my best to catch you up on this chapter we've been playing. Okay, let's see here. While we load the game up, Neff, what's new in your neck of the woods with postseason? Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Oh man, you're making me you're making me nostalgic talking about Dvorak. My goodness. That in more ways than one. Okay, bailiff, please escort Miss Tudor to the witness stand. But before we do that, let's go into here and see if I could do my best to tell Bree what is going on. Okay, our victim is, I don't think we have his profile, but our victim is a person who worked at a guild factory run by this guy, Stefanik Drakogen, and they create arcane crystals with magic and stuff. And this guy went upstairs to the top of the factory and he fell into this vat of magic goo and died. Am I correct so far? Hold on a second. You know something? You're going to have to talk again because apparently I had you guys muted.
No.
Oh, how kind of you.
I'm so sorry about that.
That's the best I've sounded all week, apparently. Oh.
Anyway, let's try this again. Hello, Neff.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Well, I'm better than I was 2 minutes ago. Liz. Hello, Liz.
Hello, hello.
Again. Hello, Karam again.
Hello, everyone.
And hello, Bree again.
Hello.
I'm so embarrassed. Oh, good grief. We missed all this jokes about QWERTY and Dvorak keyboards and hockey players.
Yes, well, you could say we put those jokes on ice.
No, I inadvertently put that joke on ice. Because I'm a dummy.
He says.
Because I'm a dummy. Anyway, okay. So let's recap again, Bree. We have a victim who worked in a guild run by Stefanik Drakogen, right? And yes, he fell into a vat of magic goo and died. We did Imperial Arcanum on the scene, which lets us detect magic that's been used in the last 48 hours. That is something that Celeste McCoy, Tyrion's bodyguard, has as an ability. And we saw, I believe, transmutation magic over the railings that were over the vats, which meant that when our victim merely leaned slightly onto the railings, they gave way and he fell in. So the belief is that this was set up. So we interviewed this guy. This is the guy who is apparently sanctioning something. What was this guy responsible for again? I forget.
He's one of the head families.
Well, he's one of the nobles, right?
Yeah. And he got his butt kicked in chess, apparently.
Yes.
Start this chapter off.
Start that chapter off. Let's see. Okay, so he bankrolled this person's cafe, Rika Tudor, or Rika for short, Arcane Art Evocation, and she likes to, I guess, we sort of determined that if she's trying to hide something, she kind of changes her persona like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in a way. She's the one that's being called onto the stand right now. And let's see. This is the guildmaster who owns the factory where it happened. This is the harbor master, whom Tyrion also remembers. And these are two delinquents. You see they have no occupation. Two delinquents they found kind of throwing stones in Tyrion's old house. And Celeste kind of set them straight. No pun intended. Let's see. So we have these clues about what happened. We had a blockade created around the city of Oranax, which is where they are right now. This started, I believe, before the murder was reported and then became strengthened after the murder. Or not the murder. It hasn't been classified as a murder. That's very, very important point. The charge right now is that I want to say Stefanik Dracogen has been accused of professional negligence resulting in murder or resulting in a death. Criminal negligence resulting in a death. I think that's the charge, which is different from a murder case. So Tyrion has kind of set that straight right away. Let's see here. Rika Tudor, who runs the cafe, supposedly begged Stefanik Dracogen to hire Justin Way. Okay, so Justin Way is the name of our victim. Justin was a delinquent like these two guys were, Gavin and Wyatt. And she wanted Justin to turn his life around. Supposedly, he used to spend a lot of time in local delinquents, but he has turned his life around since then. Justin Way was a star employee at the guild. He was always known to follow all of Stefanik Dracogen's rules and regulations. He worked in an entirely different department and wasn't supposed to be anywhere near the refinery walkway. Dracogen has no idea why he was in the refinery before the accident. And what would happen is that every workday, Rika would head out to the guild factory to deliver lunch to Justin. That might be part of this somewhere. There are magical traces of transmutation on the guardrail that Justin supposedly broke before falling. Traces are only on the rails that Justin broke. They aren't anywhere else on the walkway. A mage must have sabotaged the guardrail within the last 48 hours, clearly intending for someone to break the rail and fall into the magical vat of goo. Testimony from Astor and Morrison. Rika Tudor frantically approached Noah Morrison and a man named Astor. So let's see. Do we have Astor here? No, we don't have Astor in a profile. for some reason. But Aster is a man who was staying in this person's inn at the bar there at the cafe. She tried to tell him something. So Morrison and this person, Aster, were present at the guild factory. Tudor frantically approached them, trying to tell him something, but they couldn't hear her over the noise produced by the refinery machines. They noticed Rika was pointing at the walkway, so they looked there. Then they saw a figure lean on a guardrail and break it. The figure fell from the walkway and into the vat of corrosive chemicals. The testimonies match each other identically. Here's the food delivery. Rika was delivering food to Justin during the time of the accident. Apparently never had time to make food for himself, so she delivered his dinner to him every day. Rika didn't find Justin in the freight area that day, so she went looking for him and spotted him in the refinery building before he fell. Tudor briefly interacted with Justin way before the accident. He supposedly told her he was on his way to a scheduled meeting with Stefanik Dracogen, but Dracogen never mentioned this meeting. On the night of the accident, Tudor saw Justin Way fall off the walkway. After seeing him fall, she tried to get the attention of Aster and Noah Morrison, but they couldn't understand her because of how loud the refinery machines were. So that matches what we saw here. Justin Way supposedly owned a non-trivial amount of gold to an individual named the Eye Taker. Perhaps one of the citizens of Aronnax can tell you more about this person. So we spoke to Morrison here, who told us more about the Eye Taker. And yes, he's a little bit of a mafia guy who, if you don't pay him up, something will happen, and that is why he is known as the Eye Taker. According to Morrison, that is. And Justin's planned robbery. According to Wyatt Ernell, who was one of the delinquents, Justin Way owed gold to a criminal named the Eye Taker. Justin owned a set of lock-picking and safe-cracking tools that could disable mundane and magical locks. He was planning to break into the refinery building, then use his safe-cracking skills to rob the safe in Dracogen's office. Okay. Liz, is there anything I've left out here?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that I can remember.
Okay. Neff, do you think we're up to speed?
I think we've got things under control.
Okay. And Karam, can you think of anything else?
No, I think you're good.
Okay. We don't have any spells yet. We haven't gotten anybody's compendium of spells, so that's blank. Bree, do you have any questions before we continue?
No.
Okay. We had just interviewed him on the stand. He testified. We found a contradiction in the evidence based on some testimony that was given before. So that was cleared up. But now there's reason that we have to bring this person out onto the stand. Rika Tudor, a.k.a. Rika, who is a merchant in the arcane art of evocation. So here is our judge, and we're about to escort Miss Tudor to the witness stand. Here's Arya Steelwind. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the courtroom. This is probably Rika's first time testifying in a courtroom. You hope she'll be okay. As if I need such introductions, but allow me to indulge you all. Oh Lord, is she seriously doing that here? So this is the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde we pointed out earlier. And we believe that she might be hiding something when she changes into this character. I am Rika Tudor, Dark Lord of Aronnax, High Archmagi of the Cadmean Flames, and business proprietor of Sweet Confections. I see. I was not aware we were in the presence of such a renowned individual. Wait, does he actually believe her? Your Honor, Rika Tudor is the owner of a local cafe in Aronnax, but isn't she also a High Archmagi? I am. No, she really isn't. Tyrion, you're ruining my flow. Yeah, stop ruining her flow, Tyrion. You would say that your flow is the most disrupted right now.
Oof.
Anyways, Miss Tudor, you were at the RNX refinery on the night of the accident, and you witnessed the moment that the victim fell off of the walkway. Am I correct? Yes, that's right. You can see sadness through the eye of Horus that Tyrion has. According to your statement, you ran up to Morrison after you saw Justin fall off of the walkway. The problem is that there's a contradiction between both of your testimonies. There's a contradiction? Yeah, the contradiction that was pointed out in the testimony was that she pointed Justin out and then he fell. I think the other one was that he had already fallen, right? Okay. Morrison testified he didn't see the victim fall into the vat until after you approached him. This wouldn't make sense, though. You saw the victim fall off of the walkway before you ran up to Morrison. Morrison couldn't have possibly seen the victim fall again after that. Oh, I think I see what happened. You do? I think you're misunderstanding what I said before. I misunderstood you? If that's true, could you please testify to the court exactly what happened? Please include every detail you can remember. Sure. Witness testimony. I was at the refinery when I heard a strange sound from the walkway. When I looked to see what it was, I saw that Justin had tumbled over the guardrail. But he hadn't fallen into the vat yet. I saw him barely hanging onto the edge of the platform. I didn't know how to get to the walkway from there, so I looked for help on the grounds and found Mr. Morrison. He must have seen Justin lose his grip of the ledge and fall into the vat after that. So the victim didn't immediately fall into the vat. He was hanging onto the edge of the walkway. That would explain how Mr. Morrison saw the victim fall into the vat after Miss Tudor saw him fall off of the walkway. I think I have an idea. In any case, Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. If Morrison is telling the truth, and if she's testifying like this, what could that mean? Let's go through this and find out. Save. Here we go. I was at the refinery when I heard a strange sound from the walkway. What kind of sound did you hear? I'm not quite sure. If I had to guess, I'd say that it sounded like the sound of metal hitting metal. Metal hitting metal? The refinery walkway is made out of metal, so perhaps the sound she heard was something metallic colliding with the walkway. A person walking on it? Or did something shake the walkway and make Justin lose his balance? When I looked to see what it was, I saw that Justin had tumbled over the walkway's guardrail. So this was the moment you saw Justin fall off the walkway? Yeah. And you said that he fell over the guardrail? I did, but I'm not sure how it happened. I think something caused him to lose his balance. He tumbled over the guardrail and fell right off the walkway. Interesting. But that still doesn't explain why Morrison saw him fall after you ran to him for help. Well, I did see Justin fall from the walkway, but he hadn't fallen into the vat yet. I saw him barely hanging onto the edge of the platform. He was hanging onto the ledge? Was there anyone around to help him back up? I didn't see anyone around, but I really wasn't paying attention to that. I was just focused on saving him before he fell. I assumed that if anyone was nearby, they'd immediately try to help him. I didn't know how to get to the walkway from there, so I looked around for help and found Mr. Morrison. And did you see another individual with him? Yeah, I did. I tried to explain to him and his friend what was going on, but they couldn't hear me over the machines. That does match with the testimonies he and Aster gave you. After that, he must have seen Justin lose his grip of the ledge and fall into the vat. Did you also see this moment? No, I didn't. I was so busy trying to talk to Mr. Morrison that I didn't see it. Didn't even know what had happened until after they shut down the machines. If only Rika had seen the moment that Justin fell off too. You would have been able to compare her statement with the ones that you got from Morrison and Astor. You'll just need to focus on the other parts of her testimony. Rika's testimony is a bit different from the statement that she gave us earlier. Looking back on it, I should have asked for more details. I was so focused on matching details of Morrison and Astor. I didn't probe her further. But now that we have a full testimony of what she saw happen, you can compare it with what Morrison and Astor saw. Okay. Any ideas? I was at the refinery when I heard a strange sound from the walkway. When I looked to see what it was, I saw that Justin had tumbled over the walkway's guardrail. Now, did he tumble over the guardrail, or didn't
the guardrail give way?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, wait a minute here.
So I'm thinking about something to contradict this.
Do we
What do you
have any
think?
pictures of the walkway?
We have all these clues that we have here, so we'll see what we have. Let me see. Blockade, no. Rika helped Justin, no. Justin's job, no. Transportation on the guardrails. We have this testimony. Let's read this. They noticed that Mosarika was pointing at the walkway, so they looked there. Then they saw a figure lean on a guardrail and break it. I think that is different than going over the rail.
Slightly.
Slightly. Agreed, everybody?
Yep.
Go.
All right. So then let's save. And do this. Over. She said over, didn't she? Rika, you said the victim tumbled over the guardrail, as in he was thrown over it. Yes, that's right. What? Did you see the moment that the guardrail broke? No, I didn't. I already told you that, didn't I? But you did see the moment that Justin fell off of the walkway. And in that moment, did you see Justin break the guardrail? No, like I told you, I didn't see the moment that the guardrail broke. But that's the thing, Rika. According to Morrison, Justin Way broke the guardrail as he fell into the vat. More specifically, he said that Justin was standing on the walkway when this happened. What? According to the prosecution, Justin Way leaned on a faulty guardrail and broke it, falling into the vat. But that's not what you saw, was it, Rika? No, I saw him tumble over the guardrail. In comes the judge. I'm afraid I don't see the importance of this, Mr. Cuthbert. Are you accusing the witness of perjury? Ah, there's definitely something going on here, but what? Mosarika is a mage and you don't want to suspect her, but you need to consider every possibility. What is happening here? Mosarika Tudor is lying. Noah Morrison, the harbor master, is lying. They're both lying. They're both telling the truth. So, anybody have any ideas? Liz, do you have a thought here? What do you think?
I think she is lying.
You think she's lying?
Yes.
Okay. Any other thoughts, Neff?
Well, if she's lying, the question is why? Why would she lie about him going over the guardrail as opposed to going through? What's the thing? What's the issue?
Right. So,
Unless she's covering for the person who cast the spell.
oh. You got a point there. Let's see. Well, if we say Mosarika Tudor is lying, that's going to open up a can of worms, because then a mage is involved in all this, and there has to be another inquiry. So I'll select it, but Rika was the only mage other than Astor at the refinery that day. Could she have sabotaged the guardrails and lied on her testimony? No, that doesn't make sense. She would have stuck out like a sore thumb in the refinery. Someone would have noticed her up on the walkway, even more so if she were casting a spell. And if that's true, she has no reason to lie in her testimony. Rika must have been telling the truth. Oh. Well, then is the harbor master lying?
But what does he have to gain by lying?
Exactly.
We go back to the same question, right?
Are they both telling the truth then? They have to be both telling the truth.
I don't see how that's possible, but maybe I'm just not thinking straight.
Let's see. If Rika is telling the truth, it's possible Morrison could have been lying. No, his testimony is supported by Aster's. They both had nearly identical accounts of what happened. Even if they were somehow corroborating with each other, their statements are too similar. Morrison must have been telling the truth. So, if Tyrion says Tudor's telling the truth and Morrison's telling the truth, and they're both telling the truth.
Yep.
They're both telling the truth. You guess. But how does that make sense? I think I have an idea. Okay, think through this. If we assume that Rika and Morrison are telling the truth, you need to remember the exact order of events. First, Rika saw Justin go up the walkway. When I looked to see what it was, I saw that Justin had tumbled over the guardrail. But he hadn't fallen into the vat yet. I saw him barely hanging onto the edge of the platform. She saw Justin fall over the guardrail and off of the walkway. Justin was able to grab onto the walkway ledge. That's when Rika went to look for help. This is when she ran into Morrison and Aster. Rika came running towards us. She was trying to tell us something, but the damn machines were too loud for us to hear her. She pointed at the walkway, and that's when we saw someone fall into the vat. By the time we could get them to stop the machines, it was too late. And then there's Aster's account of events. Here's Aster. Did you see the expression on his face? He might have been unconscious. I'm afraid I couldn't see anything on his face. It was much too dark to make out his features. Wait, you didn't actually see his face? How do you know it was actually him that fell in? Well, who else could it have been? Aster and Morrison couldn't see Justin's face. That one detail of their testimonies never sat right with you. But you dismissed your suspicions. They found Justin's body in the vat after all. You know for a fact that he fell into that vat, but you never considered one other possibility.
Another person fell into the vat?
That's what I'm thinking. Rika saw Justin fell into the vat, and then the other two saw somebody they assumed to be Justin, but they couldn't see his face, fall into the vat. Any other opinions here?
Nope.
Hearing none, we're going to select this. Another person? Is that really possible? But it's the only thing that makes sense. It would also explain how Rika, Morrison, and Aster all saw someone fall off of the walkway at different times. But then who is this second person? You don't have a choice. Even if you don't know all of the facts, this is the only conclusion you can draw. I think you've had quite enough time to deliberate, Mr. Cuthbert. Are you accusing the witness or not? I am not accusing the witness of perjury, Your Honor. Both Miss Tudor's and Mr. Morrison's testimonies appear to contradict each other, but they are both telling the truth. Then please enlighten us, Mr. Cuthbert. How could both of their testimonies possibly be true? Well, I think there's only one possible explanation. Both Miss Tudor and Miss Morrison saw someone fall off of the walkway. Hold on, I disconnected here again. But the person that Miss Tudor saw and the person that Mr. Morrison saw were two different people. Are you serious, Mr. Cuthbert? Do you honestly think some random person fell into the vat moments after Justin Way fell in? It's the only conclusion that makes sense, Miss Steelwind. Miss Tudor knew the victim and recognized him. That's how she was able to confirm that it was him that fell into the vat. However, Mr. Morrison and his companion did not know the victim personally. They could barely make out his features. They only assumed that it was him after learning that he fell in. Please. It's far more likely that Miss Tudor is simply mistaken about what she saw. Well, what? No, I'm sure I saw Justin tumble over the guardrail. Let's not forget Miss Tudor's allegiances. As a beneficiary of the Dracogen Trading Company, she has every reason to confound this case in the defendant's favor. That's not... Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
That's enough. This is a civil case, Mr. Cuthbert, not some murder mystery for you to throw wild theories towards.
Oof.
This was clearly an accident. It looks like you don't have a choice. You're going to have to use your trump card. Excuse me? You have one piece of evidence that implies that this wasn't a simple accident. Oh, yeah, the magic that was cast on the walkway, right?
Uh-huh.
So, have to be this guy. Transmutation on the guardrails. Are you sure about that, Your Honor? What? Justin Way's death was reported as an unfortunate accident. As a result, the city guard put minimal resources into their investigation. More specifically, there was no reason to call in the Arcane Inquisition. What are you talking about now? Why would the Inquisition be... No, are you saying that... Unlike the Arnak City Guard, I have a mage capable of casting Detect Magic. My bodyguard, Celeste McCoy, scanned the crime scene for magical traces, and she found traces of transmutation on the broken guardrail. Traces of magic were found at the crime scene? But that would make this a potential homicide, Your Honor. This is ridiculous. The accident took place in an arcane refinery. Those traces could have easily come from the purification process. Miss Steelwind, these traces were found only on the guardrails that Justin broke. We didn't find them anywhere else. Yeah. We can't be certain of what happened, but it's clear that a mage used magic near the scene of the accident. Foul play may have been involved. So my theory of another person falling into the vat is entirely possible. My client is not at fault for the guardrail breaking. Considering this shocking revelation, there's still much we do not know about Justin Way's death. With that said, I have no choice but to suspend the trial of Von Sanctus versus Dracogen. Yeah, so it was the noble filing the criminal or the negligence lawsuit against Dracogen. You have a feeling that this would happen, just like your other cases. The court won't pass a verdict until a culprit is found. The court will give the Arcane Inquisition time to investigate the scene and these supposed magical traces. We'll resume the trial in 2 days' time. Court is adjourned. Well, at least we survived the first day, but it kind of feels like we're back to square one. Yeah, the Inquisition will get involved. They know that magic played a role in what happened. If you want them to dismiss the case against Dracogen, you're going to have to find out exactly what happened. If that's even possible. Ugh. Hey, are you okay? You feel a headache coming on. Yeah, I think I'm just tired. Well, this day has been exhausting. It's pretty late. Should we just head back to the inn and continue the investigation tomorrow? No, I want to take another look at the refinery before the Inquisition gets there. Ugh. The throbbing pain in your skull seems to disagree with you doing that. Yeah, no, we're heading back to the inn. I'm fine, really. Tyrion, I know you're anxious about the trial, but you need to get some rest. Celeste, it's fine. It's not. You're going to work yourself. Would you just stay out of my way? Again, your voice came out louder than you meant for it to. Fine, whatever. Do what you want. It's this damn city. Being back here is really getting to you. That's all the more reason to get through this trial as soon as possible. The soreness in your head doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Perhaps she's right. You'll be better off investigating the scene after some rest. Wow. All right. Another nightmare overtakes your sleep. Uh-oh. You clutch the note tightly in your hands as you read it. I'm sorry, Tyrion. There were so many things I wanted to tell you. So many things that I wanted to show you. This is, I think, his mom. And in the last stream, he was actually speaking to him directly. I'm afraid I can't do that now. I need you to be strong now. This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. Use it to reclaim the future. Her eyes? I don't understand. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is stop the execution. If you can just distract the knights long enough, you can save her and run away. You'll have to abandon your home, but at least she'll still be with you. As you try to sprint toward the gallows, a knight grabs your arm and pulls you back. Hey kid, you can't cross this point. Hey, stop that! You fruitlessly try to break his grip by striking him with your bare hands, but he barely feels anything through his armor. You continue delivering blow after blow to him, but it does nothing. Your knuckles start to bleed. Irritated by your behavior, the knight pins you to the ground. Damn, kid. You desperately struggle against him to no avail. And from this position, you have no choice but to watch what's happening. Wait, stop! You make eye contact with your mother one last time. Her body goes limp. You stare blankly at the hanging body. No, this isn't... Mom? You clutch your note tightly in your hand. You feel a comforting yet fleeting warmth from it. Mom! Tyrion! Celeste, You snap back awake. It was another nightmare. You notice that tears are streaming down your face. You quickly tried to bring up your sleeve to wipe them away, but you realize that Celeste is firmly gripping your hand. Why are you... sorry. You were shouting in your sleep, but you seemed to calm down a little whenever I held your hand. So I've been doing that. Oh. Tyrion, are you okay? You're not. You've been acting weird since we arrived in Arcane. It's nothing. It's not nothing. Does it have something to do with your mother? For the past 2 nights, you've been calling out for her in your sleep. Please, just talk to me. I'm your friend, aren't I? You never even realized it. You didn't have many people in your life after you left Arcane. You only had Miss Tamora, and she never wanted to talk about what happened. But Celeste, she's been there since you started your career. Of course she's your friend. It all happened a long time ago. We lived here together in that old house. My mother was a merchant and a mage. Your mother was a mage? But I guess the gift of magic skipped my generation. I could never use it. About 10 years ago, my mother's business partner was found murdered. And they found traces of magic at the crime scene. They thought that your mom did it. Miss Tamora was my mother's defense attorney for the trial. She did everything she could to get her acquitted. But she could never find the real culprit. They found her guilty of first-degree murder. I tried to stop her execution, but... Your voice starts breaking. Tyrion. I'm sorry, Celeste. What? Coming back here has brought back so many memories. I thought that I already moved on from what happened. If I could just keep saving people as an attorney, maybe I could put all this behind me. But I'm back in Arcane, and those feelings are still so fresh in my mind. It's like I'm still the same powerless child from 10 years ago. I know that I've been taking that out on you. I'm really sorry. Don't be. I get it. I know what it's like to lose someone like that. She does, doesn't she? When my dad was murdered, you were there for me. If it weren't for you, I would have still believed that he died hating me. This goes back to the first chapter of the game. Celeste slowly clasps your hand within hers again. Feels warm and comforting. Has this been the warmth you've been feeling for the last few nights? So just let me be here for you. You can feel yourself dozing off. You have to snap yourself back awake. Sorry. The last few days have been a little tiring. It's okay. Just focus on falling asleep. I'll stay with you for as long as you need me to. I'm also feeling pretty tired, though. I'll just rest my eyes a bit. For the first time since you arrived in Aranax, you finally receive a good night's rest. You wake up the next morning feeling well rested. You feel almost a little too rested. You feel really reluctant to leave the comfort of your bed. Celeste, are you there? Your hand feels warm. Oh. You can feel your heart stop.
And you die. The end.
Oh, shut up now.
Wow, no.
That
Really?
was the perfect thing. Wait a minute.
This is a heartwarming moment, Neff. You're dead.
I could have done worse.
All right, well, let's leave it at that then.
Yes, let's leave it at that. The scene from Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. Thank you very much.
Celeste, what do you want? Her eyes slowly open as she wakes from her equally restful sleep. She drowsily scans her surroundings. You both dart out of the bed. So you seem to be doing better. You're okay, right? Yeah, thank you for last night. Poor phrasing. Oh,
Say so. Wow.
Hello, are you there, Mr. Cuthbert? What the hell? Your soul nearly jumps out of your body. You suddenly hear Astra's voice, and it's extremely loud. You look around to see where he is, but he's nowhere to be found. Astra? Thank the skilled Lord, I finally got him through to you two. What? Where are you? I'm using a spell to speak with you right now. I apologize for contacting you in this manner, but I was worried that something had happened to you two. Right, of course. Anyway, what do you want at this time of day? This time of day? Mr. Cuthbert, it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Oh my goodness.
Oof.
Dang.
What? 3 p.m.? You missed the entire morning. I hope everything's okay. Did something happen? No, everything's okay. Anyways, if it's already this late, we should head over to the refinery. Yes, the investigation. Let's do that immediately. Celeste immediately power walks out of the room. You quickly follow after her. If you're heading to the refinery, do you mind if I meet with you too? There's something I'd like to ask you. Sure. Wonderful. I'll see you at the town square. You quickly meet Astra in the town square while you walk to the refinery. You and Celeste walk to your destination with purpose. A little too much purpose. It's almost as if you're both trying to distract yourselves from something. Every time you make eye contact with Celeste, she quickly glances away. Well now.
Lovey-dovey.
Ooh. Things are a little awkward, but you much prefer this over the tense mood between you two yesterday. Anyways, Aster, what was the spell you used earlier? It let you speak with us without being there. Oh, that was a conjuration spell. It's called Send Message. I just feel a little bit uneasy. You could just contact us out of the blue like that. More importantly, you're a little worried about what he might have seen. Don't worry. The spell is perfectly harmless. I can give you the parameters if you'd like. Send Message has been added to your notes. Incantation, Malum. Duration, 1 hour. For the duration of this spell, the caster projects the voice to communicate with the target. Anyone within a 30-foot radius of the target can hear the caster's voice. Caster can also hear sounds close to the target, allowing for two-way communication. The target must be a person known to the caster. That person must also be conscious, otherwise the spell will fail. Alternatively, the target can be an object that is attuned to the caster's magic. Okay. Looks like it only facilitates communication. He definitely didn't see the embarrassing state that you two were in. By the way, I'm not trying to be rude, but why are you following us? Oh, yes. I was still trying to think of the proper method to ask you, but you both seem to be on the edge at the moment. What did you want to ask us? You already told me about the traces of transmutation at the refinery, but the trial yesterday really highlighted the significance of that. I can't simply stand by if I was a witness to a murder. And may I join you on your investigation? This is the guy, remember, that has something for Tyrion Cuthbert. He's like biggest fanboy. That's the word I was looking for. You're questioning his motives for a variety of reasons. He was the only other mage that was at the scene of the crime. And between him and Rika, you definitely trust Rika more. Alright, I see no reason why not. So let's shoot you a concerned look. You subtly gesture for her to keep an eye on Aster. She nods in acknowledgement. Aster is your prime suspect right now, and he has to be aware of that. But if you keep him close to you, you might catch some dissonant thoughts through the eye. You arrive at the refinery and see that several knights from the Inquisition have already arrived. You glance at the damaged walkway and see Commander White there with a few of his knights. He seems to notice you too, but he only pays you a passing glance. Oh, Mr. Cuthbert, I've been waiting for you. For quite a while, may I add. Right, sorry about that. I suppose you have your reasons. And you've more than proven yourself worthy of my trust. Although, Dracogen gives Aster a suspicious side glance. He appears to have come to the same conclusion that you did. Well, you've given me little reason to doubt your judgment. I'll leave the investigation in your capable hands. Speaking of the investigation, where should we start first? Now that we've gotten the Inquisition involved, we might be able to learn more about the magical traces at the crime scene. You look at Commander White, who is inspecting the walkway. He's probably your best bet for getting more information about the investigation. Okay. Well, let's save, because quite a lot has happened since the last save in more ways than one. The trial. I'm quite pleased with your work during the trial. I'm glad I put my trust in you. Thank you, but we're still a long way from getting your case dismissed, and showing the possibility of a murder definitely made things much more complicated. I see no reason to blame yourself. You merely played the cards that you were dealt. Honestly, I'm still trying to make sense of what happened. Do you have any idea who the second victim might be? I have no idea, but all my other employees are accounted for. I doubt it was anyone who worked for me. But then who was it? All employees present has been added to your notes. To be perfectly honest, I'm a little concerned with how many unauthorized people were there that day. He has a point. It seems strange that Justin, Rika, and Morrison were all there. Okay. Should we examine? The chemicals in these vats are infused with extremely volatile magic. This magic is volatile enough to dissolve at least one human body. They might have even dissolved two bodies.
So you could say we have no bodies.
Ah, hardy har. Powder box artificery hardware inside of it. Apparently, it controls the power to the various machines in the refinery. A set of stairs leads up to the walkway that Justin fell from. Rika supposedly saw Justin here on the night of the accident. And if we do detect magic, again, we're going to see the magic on the ends of these vats and on this panel here. So that matches up. Okay. What else can we do? Well, we can't talk anymore. We've examined everything. We're gonna... Do we present anything to him, or do we move somewhere else?
I don't think we have anything new that he hasn't seen. I don't think so.
Right. Oh, walkway.
Walkway.
Oh, it's you two. And who's this? Huh? Wait, the hell? Uh-oh.
Yikes.
Commander, please don't. What the hell are you two doing with the Crown Prince? Ho ho!
Oh, great.
What? It appears that my cover has been blown, as they say. Did he just say that you're the Crown Prince? Yes. My full name is Aster de Wyverngard IV, heir to the throne of Wyverngard. Or as some people as my work would say, Aster de Wyverngard Iv. Aster de Wyverngard, occupation, prince. This entire time you've been speaking to the heir to the throne? I was hoping that it wouldn't come to this. Oh, sorry, your, Majesty. Please, none of that. I would much prefer if you all continued to call me Aster. No, I could never. You'd never seen the commander this flustered before. Why did you find the need to hide this from us? I didn't want you to think less of me. Occupation Prince, age 26, Arcane art, conjuration. Ooh, how interesting. I admire your work, Mr. Cuthbert, which is why I was afraid you wouldn't speak with me if you knew the truth. In a way, he was correct to assume that. As a member of the royal family, he represents everything that you and Miss Tamora are fighting against. But he does look like a sincere and genuine person. At the very least, you haven't seen anything incriminating through the eye of Horus. Anyways, this complicates things greatly. Aster is your primary suspect. So if he did commit the murder, you would have to implicate a member of the royal family. A nobleman is one thing, but would it even be possible to convict the crown prince? Well, no matter what, you won't stop seeking justice. It doesn't matter who you're facing, be they man, king, or god. Ha 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 ha. That's his tagline, per se. And princes aside, you came here to talk to the commander about his investigation. Since Aster is accompanying you, he might be more inclined to share details with you. Okay. Well, let's talk. The investigation. I'm surprised that the Inquisition is even here. I thought you were all busy investigating Aster's missing ship. Wait, you know about that? The commander glances nervously at Aster. We wanted to put more of our people there, but Lady Steelwood insisted that we focus on the Dracogen case. As you should. I would much rather have you find justice for Justin Way. That's far more important than looking for some musty old ship. Right. Is this kid for real? Magical traces. Have you discovered anything about the magical traces here? We did take a look at it, and it's definitely suspicious. The only rails with magical traces on them are these. And the fact that we can still see them means that they were left within the last 48 hours. It's looking pretty likely that someone used transmutation on these rails that night. Still doesn't make sense though. Why would someone weaken these rails specifically? I have no idea. I'm just as confused as you are. If this is really foul play, someone knew that Justin or some other person would be in this exact place. Crown Prince Aster or a second body? Crown Prince Aster. I still can't believe you've been the Crown Prince this entire time. I wasn't trying to deceive you. I was just worried that you might treat me differently if you knew the truth. Oh, right. Should I call Steelwind over here for you? She'll probably want to see you. No, I think it would be best if you didn't. Oh, I remember now. If you're the Crown Prince, that makes Prosecutor Steelwind your fiancé. Oh.
Oh, God.
Who's running the show now? Right, Lady Frigga mentioned that during the Nightgrave case. That's why the name Aster sounded so familiar. You saw it in her thoughts. That Miriam, she's caused me so much trouble by publicly revealing my marriage to Lady Steelwind. I had hoped to keep it a secret for much longer.
Oh.
Where is Prosecutor Steelwind anyways? She always investigates these crime scenes herself. Ah, she said she wanted to investigate the disappearing ship personally. She seems really hell-bent on finding the people responsible. They did attempt to kidnap the Crown Prince after all. Ah, she must really care about you, Aster. No, I highly doubt that.
Uh-oh.
What? Our marriage was arranged by our parents. She had no say in the matter, and I know that she only tolerates me for the good of our kingdom. I'm sure she still cares about you. No, I can tell by the way she behaves around me. Her hands quiver with rage, and she can't even bear to look at me when I speak to her. Damn, I can't believe she even treats the Crown Prince like that. She may be my fiancé, but our marriage is purely political. She endures so much because of her name. I guess you aristocrats have your own share of problems. Now about this second body. Has the Inquisition found any evidence to prove my theory? You mean about a second person falling into the vat? Sorry, kid, but it ain't that simple. The body of that Justin fella sort of dissolved. That's quite gruesome. If another person had fallen in, their body would have dissolved too. We can only find some bone fragments, blood, and a lot of metallic shards. Have you been able to use divination magic to identify the bone fragments? Yep, the ones we found all belong to Justin Way. No signs of bones from another person. Vat contents. Ugh. There wasn't any evidence of another person falling in? Could your theory have been incorrect then? Are you sure that you and Morrison saw a person fall into the vat, Aster? I definitely saw someone fall off of the walkway and break the guardrails. Although thinking back on it, I didn't recognize who exactly that person was. The harbor master and I were pretty far away, and it wasn't well lit. Do you think the second victim's body fully dissolved? That might explain why we can't find any bone matter from them. No, if my theory is correct, the second victim fell in minutes after Justin fell. Wouldn't make sense if that person's body fully dissolved before Justin's. But why can't you find any bone matter of this second person? Either way, Dracogen might want to hear about this. Shall we, oh, vat liquid. Look at this. We got more options here. If the liquid is so volatile, how are we able to take things out of the vat? Oh, the liquid isn't volatile anymore. When the harbor master and I reported what we saw, the workers poured some sort of alchemical solution into the vat. Alchemical? Like anti-chemical, I guess?
Some alchemy.
According to them, that solution neutralized the evocation magic in those chemicals. From what I hear, the magical liquid in these vats is usually blue. The solution that they poured in turned it green. Yes, unfortunately, it was too late. By the time they neutralized the liquid, Justin's body had already mostly dissolved. And if they hadn't neutralized it so quickly, we probably wouldn't have found anything from the victim. Neutralizing liquid. Okay, so that's important to know. Anything else we could talk about? No? Okay. Let's examine. It's the broken guardrail. The entire case hinges on finding out when and how this railing broke. If Justin Way didn't break the guardrail, then who did? If the liquid is so volatile, how are we able to take things out of the vat? Okay, this is repeat what he just said. Okay.
Arcanum.
Detect this again. The traces of transmutation are still here. It's been a day since the accident. If these traces were left 2 days ago, these traces should disappear by tomorrow. Right, magical traces are undetectable for 48 hours after a spell is cast. There are traces of evocation magic on the chemicals in these vats. That makes sense. Evocation is the school of magic for spells that create and disperse energy. These chemicals probably induce some sort of magical reaction to create arcane crystals. Alright. So that's it then. Back. Where to now? Oh, well, the speech said we should talk to the guild master, right? So we gotta go back here. Oh, we have exhausted our options, yes? Oh no, here we go. Dracogen, we spoke with the Inquisition about what they found in the vat. And they could only find bone matter belonging to Justin. Well, that and several metallic shards. What? That can't be right. I know, I was hoping to find some hard evidence to prove my theory. I'll have to find another approach to prove it. No, that's not what I meant. There shouldn't be any solid matter in those vats. Are you talking about the metallic shards? I just assumed that those were some kind of magical byproduct. No, the refinement process requires everything in that vat remains a liquid. Solid matter would absorb the liquid's magical properties and taint the entire batch. So those metal shards weren't supposed to be in there. Do you think they came from the broken pieces of the railing? Possibly. We'll probably want to double check with the commander to make sure. But this is definitely strange. You'll need to take a moment to work through all of this. From what Dracogen said, there shouldn't have been any solid matter in those vats. We've already confirmed that the bone matter they found came from Justin's body. But that leaves another question. How did metallic shards appear in the vat? Where did those metallic shards come from? Oh boy. Well, let's save our work. Let's see. Rika Tudor, the killer, a metal object, Justin Way. Jumped into, sabotaged, murdered, was thrown into. The killer, Justin Way. Justin Way jumped into Justin Way? No. I wonder what happens if you say that.
I think the game assumes you're crazy at that point.
Let's see. No, the metallic shards weren't supposed to be in that vat. Oh, I was expecting no, you're crazy. So they had to have come from somewhere, okay? So, a metal object was thrown into the barrel. The vat. A metal object was thrown into the vat. I guess that's what they're leading us to, right? A metal object was thrown into the vat. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Whatever that object was, it probably dissolved into the shards that Orem found. That's the thing, though. What should the magical liquid have done to the object? The magical liquid in that vat was extremely volatile, was destructive enough to reduce our entire human body to a few shards of bone. What should the magical liquid have done to the object? The vat liquid
Destroyed.
should have completely destroyed the metal object.
Yup.
Yeah. The object would have been completely destroyed. We shouldn't have found any metal shards in the first place. Right, but we did find them. How do you explain that? Why wasn't the metal object fully destroyed? That night something happened that prevented the metal object from being fully destroyed. Ooh.
Oh. Ooh.
Justin Way fell into this vat. No, wait.
The liquid.
Just a way this couldn't be right?
I don't think so.
No, the magic in that liquid was really powerful. Something happened recently that would have prevented from destroying the metal object completely. What happened recently?
What was your second option in the second
see.
area?
Oh, they mentioned something about
Neutral.
this, right?
Yeah.
That
It
liquid.
was neutralized after the accident.
The vat liquid was neutralized shortly after the accident was reported. There you go. Thank you. When Astor and Morrison reported the accident, the workers immediately neutralized the liquid's magic. They did this to attempt to save Justin, but it would have also stopped the liquid from destroying anything else within the vat. So that's why we found those metal shards. And whatever that metal object was, it was only partially destroyed. This means it fell into the vat around the time that Justin fell into the vat. If it fell a while before the accident, it would have dissolved completely. And if it fell after the accident, it wouldn't have dissolved at all. Furthermore, whatever that object was, it was probably as large as Justin. Metallic shards has been added to your notes. A large unknown metal object fell into the vat around the time Justin Ware fell into it. Magical liquid reduced it to several small metallic shards. Do you think this metal object had something to do with the second victim? Maybe they were holding it when they fell in. Whoops. I'm not sure, but it's definitely possible. We should take a closer look at the metallic shards that Commander White found. Those shards might help us identify the second victim, if that person even exists. Okay. So... we want to examine... no, we want to present, right? Metallic shards? What do you think about this? Sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, I don't think I can tell you much about that. Oh, what am I supposed to do then? Oh, this is something we have to talk to the other guys upstairs about. Are they still waiting for us up there?
Yep.
No, these are all checked. Oh, wait. Up at the top. Metallic shards. Commander White, you mentioned you found several metallic shards in the vat. Do you mind if we take a look at them? Sure, just don't get any bright ideas about taking anything. You'll also want to avoid touching them with your bare hands. The liquid is neutralized, but it definitely ain't good for your skin. The commander motions to one of the Inquisition Knights. After a few moments, he brings back a large barrel filled with metallic shards. What? There were that many? What could have possibly fallen into the vat? Well, I guess we should get started. You spend some time closely inspecting the metallic shards with Celeste. The shards are only the size of small rocks, and it's difficult to find any discerning features. Any luck on your end? No, I haven't found... Uh-oh. Celeste? I think I found something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, though. Celeste pulls out a metallic shard with some sort of engraving on it. Unlike the other shards, this one looks far less damaged. The engraving on it looks like some sort of crest. That's the crest of House Von Sanctus! Oh, really now? Isn't he the noble that's charging Dracogen? Ooh. Could this be fraud? Interesting. Well, I doubt that Lord Von Sanctus was the second victim. Astor, do you know who would do you know who would have a house emblem like this? Normally only the Lord's retainers would have the emblems of his house. Well, I doubt that Justin was the one who had this in his possession. Do you think one of Von Sanctus's retainers fell into the vat that night? It's definitely possible, but if that did happen, why haven't we heard about it? Lloyd von Sanctus would have the resources to keep something like that out of the public eye. Ooh, a cover-up.
But why?
The only way to know for sure would be to ask him ourselves, but even if we could talk to him, he would never cooperate with us. You glance at the prince. Someone of his station will have no trouble meeting with Lord von Sanctus. An idea begins to form in your mind. Unless... What is it, Mr. Cuthbert? Aster, do you think you could help us interrogate Lord von Sanctus? Really? You need my help? The prince... The Prince of the Realm has a man crush.
Prince of the Realm was a fanboy.
In this instance, it'd be very difficult to speak to him by ourselves. But as the Crown Prince, he'd be much more inclined to speak with you. Of course, I'd be happy to help. You might be overplaying your hand by utilizing Aster this way. You're still wary of the prince. Especially he was one of the few mages at the scene. Would this really work, though? It's not ideal, but it's the only lead we have so far. But it still bothers you. Why haven't you found any bone matter from a second person? Maybe you're overthinking it. You should pursue every lead and see where it takes you. And to do that, you need to find out where Lord von Sanctus is. Well, I think I might have an idea if I remember the options from before. Nothing else to talk about. He has a stake in this cafe. Oh, no, wait. Now I see Von Sanctus Manor. Gee, this was my first idea. This is my first idea, and then I see this. I guess I know where we're going now. All right, move to Von Sanctus Manor. So this is Von Sanctus's house? It'd be more appropriate to call this building a palace rather than a house. What's that smell? As you head further into the manor, you're hit with a very pungent and sour odor. It almost burns the interior of your nostrils every time you inhale. Well, we're here. You look around the manor and don't see anyone nearby. It looks like Lord Sanctus isn't home at the moment. Perhaps we should try looking somewhere else. Okay. Where we go then? To the square? To the cafe? He has a
Cafe.
Yeah, he has an interest in this cafe, a monetary interest, I believe. Rika, are you here? You enter Rika's cafe and find the place completely empty. You see a sign on the front door. It reads closed for today. Looks like she closed the restaurant for today. Since the Inquisition is involved now, they might have taken her in for questioning. I really wanted to go into detail about what she saw, but it looks like we'll have to go somewhere else. Okay, well, let's see. We have to go to the square. We mustn't let such idealistic notions throw our nation into chaos. You arrive at this town square and see Lord von Sanctus speak to several spectators from a podium. There is Lord von Sanctus. He appears to be giving some sort of speech. You do your best to remain hidden from his view while you listen in. Please understand, the actions of the nobility seem callous. However, we only have your best interests at heart. This controversy with the Dracogen Trading Company is just one of the many examples. These so-called unions that men like him support may seem appealing, but they only obfuscate and hinder the nobility from protecting the working class. Men like Stefanik Dracogen are merely charlatans. They only seek financial gain by strong-arming your true benefactors. True benefactors? What a joke. I knew that Von Sanctus was wary of Dracogen, but I never expected him to be this zealous about getting rid of him. I think it's less about Dracogen specifically and more about what he represents. What do you mean? The Dracogen Trading Company has presented tangible proof that its policies are both effective and profitable. Even businesses that have no affiliation with him have started following his example. Von Sanctus is merely a relic of the past, and I think he knows that his archaic ideals won't survive in this landscape. I can only hope that our Grand Kingdom recognizes this danger as I have. The pompous noble leaves the podium as the citizens ponder his words. What a load of garbage. It's obvious that Von Sanctus knows his days are numbered. But look at what happened. We let the common folk set their own standards and a young man died. I guess you have a point there. You saw Von Sanctus get into a carriage shortly after his speech. It appears to be heading back to his manor. Well then, let's go back to the manor. Can we talk here? Nah. Anyways, we saw Von Sanctus heading back here. We should be able to speak with him soon. Wait, Tyrion, isn't he going to recognize us? We can't really avoid that. If we want to question him, we need to speak to him directly. But even a noble like him would have to act civilly with the Crown Prince present. You mean like how you civilly embarrassed and insulted him a few days ago? Right, you completely forgot about the chess tournament. Well, it's not as if we can hide our identities from him. I faced him in the chess tournament, and I'm Dracogen's attorney. And he beat him in the chess tournament, too. He knows what we look like. What we look like? Wait, that's it! What? Illusio! Oh, no!
Uh-oh.
Wait,
Uh-oh.
what are you... Wow. That's quite impressive, Celeste. Right, I've been practicing that one. What are you two talking about? I think you should see for yourself.
Oh,
no. The prince gestures towards a nearby mirror in the hallway. You reluctantly approach it.
No.
Just what exactly did Celeste do to you? What?
Just in the mirror.
Why do I look like Reese Rudolph? Ooh.
That's not as bad as it could have been.
Hey, I'll take that. He looks great, right? Eris taught that one to me. Do you honestly expect him to fall for this? He's probably a powerful mage. He'll see right through this. Are you telling me that the Crown Prince is here? Why didn't you notify me sooner? You hear Von Sanctus shouting as his attendant from down the hallway. He seems to be quickly heading this way. Uh-oh. You might want to disguise yourself as well, Celeste. Don't encourage her. This is extremely illegal. Right, look, you should just dispel this ridiculous disguise and... He's almost here. I can't think of anyone. I'm terribly sorry for keeping your highness waiting. Illusio! Huh? What was that? What are you talking about? I could have sworn I heard something. I didn't hear anything either. You must be imagining things.
Well, at least he didn't end up as her, but then... Oof.
Scaled Lord helped us. Of all the people she could have chosen, at least she's able to mimic her voice well enough. Oh, Lady Steelwind, I wasn't expecting you until much later. Well, I do not answer to you. I shall do as I shall please. Yes, I suppose you have a habit of doing that. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like he's seen through your disguises. He must have other things on his mind if his guard is down like this. Anyway, Lord Von Sanctus, pardon the abrupt intrusion. I came by to pay my respects. I am honored by your majesty's presence. Unfortunately, I'm quite busy with administrative matters at the moment. Too busy to show hospitality to the heir to the throne? Oh, I didn't. I wasn't. I suppose I have some time to speak with you. The conditions aren't ideal, but at least you have Von Sanctus here with you. You should let Prince Aster make small talk with him for a bit. After that, you can subtly bring up the Von Sanctus crest that you found on the vat. Okay, let's save. Let's see here. And let's see here. Talk. The trial. I heard about the charges that you've brought against the Dracogen Trading Company. Forgive my bluntness, but is everything well within your estate? Oh, that. I am simply cleaning house, nothing more. Well now, I've dealt with plenty of men like Dracogen before, and this time will be no different. I understand that he may be taking business away from you, but does that really warrant you taking such drastic measures? And not just about his business, it's these ideas that he's putting into people's heads. He's allowed these unions to continue existing, and other businesses are following his example. It's absolutely absurd, as if the entire world has gone mad. I see. Our society only functions when the lower class knows their place. If that's how our society functions, then perhaps it is flawed. You're still young, Prince Aster. These righteous ideals may sound appealing, but they are the path to disorder. The common folk do not care about the well-being of our kingdom as a whole. They only care about themselves individually. If we allow them to become empowered, they will use that power selfishly. Kind of reminds me of somebody. It is up to the upper class to maintain order. I see. By the way, I'm surprised that you're representing Lord Von Sanctus, Lady Steelwind. All right. What is he doing? It's already hard enough to maintain this ruse. I knew that you recently became a prosecutor, but I never imagined that you represent a noble. Don't get ahead of yourself, Aster. What does that even mean? Let's not be coy, Lady Steelwind. If you must know, Your Majesty, how Steelwind and I came to an arrangement. The fair lady is so keen on wasting her talents on civil work. Given that, I might as well utilize her to my benefit. Do not speak to her like that. Ooh. First time we've seen him like that. Oh, I mean no disrespect, but rest assured, this is only temporary. I see. So you have an arrangement with Lucio Steelwind. Seems that Aster is collecting his own information. By the way, Lord Von Sanctus, have any of your attendants gone missing lately? That's an oddly specific question. But no, all of my attendants are accounted for. You don't see any dissonant thoughts from the eye, but he could be unconsciously shielding himself from it. I must ask, why would you ask such a question? You see, I actually found a discarded trinket while walking around the city. It had the crest of House Von Sanctus on it. I was worried that something unsavory might have happened to one of your people. Ah, I see. I suppose you must be on edge after what happened to your ship. However, items with the Von Sanctus crest are quite common nowadays. Really? The item that you found must have been a product produced by Von Sanctus Industries. An item produced by Von Sanctus Industries? What, pray tell, is Von Sanctus Industries? So the Von Sanctus crest is on some of the items produced by your company. Not just some of the items, the Von Sanctus crest is engraved on every product created by Von Sanctus Industries. As a result, people have come to associate the quality of our products with the quality of House Von Sanctus. Or at least they did until hacks like Dracogen came out of the woodwork. So in other words, it's just branding. What type of products does Von Sanctus Industries produce? We used to produce magical accessories for mages, but now we produce all manner of products. As the head of commerce in our kingdom, we've diversified our holdings. Oh, that means the metal shark could have come from anything. Metallic shards have been updated in your notes. Seems this line of questioning led to a dead end. Is it really impossible to identify where that shard came from? Do you sell your products to the Dracogen Trading Company? Yes, of course I do. Despite my misgivings with Dracogen, it would be foolish of me if I didn't do business with him. That means that there are Von Sanctus products in the Arcane refinery. You're called Von Sanctus Industries after all. That's true, the metal shark could have been from some sort of industrial tool. Just what are you implying, Lady Steelwind? A twinge of nervousness through the eye? Does he know something? Why would he get so defensive over a question like that? Was there a Von Sanctus product in the refinery on the night of the murder? She misspoke and said murder instead of accident. Uh-oh. But that is evoking a reaction. Answer the question. Celeste attempts to loudly slam the tip of her cane on the ground, only to realize that her cane isn't actually real. She loses her balance and tips over a nearby vase. The vase shatters on the ground, creating quite a mess of broken shards and water. Lady Steelwind, are you okay? Celeste immediately regains her balance and tries to act as if nothing happened. I'm not paying for that. Lord Von Sanctus completely loses his composure and recoils at the sight of the broken vase. Construct, I require your assistance. Acknowledged. In response to Von Sanctus's call, an arcane construct walks out from a nearby closet. Construct, clean up this mess at once. He seems very disturbed by the mess. Is he some sort of clean freak? Acknowledged. The construct begins quickly picking up the shards of the broken vase. You own an arcane construct? I do. Von Sanctus Industries is the inventor of arcane constructs after all. Right, you recall Celeste mentioning that earlier. Would you like one, Your Highness? My apologies, I'm not very interested in using artificery. Suit yourself. In any case, I'm afraid Lady Steelwind must be taking her leave now. What? Remember you said you could only accompany me for 1 hour? It's close to being 1 hour. Right, Lady Steelwind? Oh, Lucio is only an hour. What are you... Oh, right, 1 hour. It would definitely not be good for us to be here for more than 1 hour. Oh, does this illusion only last for an hour? In the meantime, may I discuss some personal matters with you, Lord Von Sanctus? Of course, I'm at your disposal, Your Majesty. You raise an eyebrow at the prince. It appears he didn't come here just to help you. But you suppose you've gotten all the information you need out of Von Sanctus. It's time to move on to the next lead. That was embarrassing. Yeah, that was a bit too close for comfort. Well, at least no one saw through our disguises. Ah, are you an attendant here? Please notify Lord Von Sanctus that the real Arya Steelwind walks to the front door of the manor just as you are about to exit. She immediately stops in her tracks upon meeting her doppelganger. Aburio. With one spell, Steelwind dispels the illusions over you and Celeste. Upon seeing who you really are, she lets out an irritated sigh. Is impersonating the Steelwind some kind of hobby for you, Miss McCoy? She looks really angry this time. No, there was a really good reason for us doing this. Let me guess, you wanted to interrogate Von Sanctus without him knowing who you really were. No? Lying about your name is one matter, but impersonating a noble using magic is a serious crime. Tyrion, help please? Are you seriously going to have to defend her in court again? You quickly try to think of a way to defuse this situation. Ah, sorry for the wait, you two. I had to discuss... Oh, Lady Steelwind. Great, according to Aster, Steelwind despises him. Knowing that he was a part of this will just make things worse. Your Majesty! Why is he here? Oh, hello!
Sundra.
What? Oh, I see you've dispelled their disguises. You knew about this? Aster steps between you and Steelwind. It seems he's trying to calm her down. For better or for worse, her attention is firmly focused on him. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you. No, that's not why he's really close.
Oh, God.
They pulled this ruse under my orders. Could you please look the other way just this once? Okay. Thank you, Lady Steelwind.
wow.
I won't forget this. Just fucking...
Lady Steelwind EXE, that's crashed. Abort, retry, fail.
I love that.
Well, Neff, there goes what you mentioned in the beginning about Cordy and Dvorak.
Uh-huh. She just slammed her head on the keyboard again and again and again.
I need to go. Goodbye. Well, that was certainly something. I'm sorry you two had to see that. What? It's as I said before, she absolutely detests me. You saw it, didn't you? She could barely look me in the eye. Oh my God. In any case, we're starting to run out of time. We should head back to the refinery. But we still don't know where the metal shard came from. From what Von Sanctus told us, I don't think we can find out exactly where it came from. If each of Von Sanctus's products has that crest, it could be any number of things. But hopefully Dracogen can help us narrow that list down. If it did come from some kind of industrial tool, he might be able to check if any of the refinery's tools are missing. You just hope he can provide you with some kind of lead. All right. So...
Back to the refinery.
Back to the refinery. Hello again, Mr. Cuthbert. I hope you have good news. Well, actually, You take some time to explain the Dracogen what you found during your investigation. You're still uncertain about the identity of the second victim. That metal shard with the Von Sanctus crest is your best lead right now. I see. With that said, do you have any tools that you purchased from Von Sanctus Industries? I do. He personally sold me quite a few when I first arrived in the city. I even purchased a security system for the refinery building from him. Really? Did you purchase anything else from him? Well, he also tried to sell me some of those arcane constructs. He told me I could be the first person in Arnax to own such innovative technology, but I turned him down. Really? But they seem so useful. I don't feel comfortable trusting machines to handle the work here. Those constructs require very specific instructions, and they lack common sense. That's true. We saw how unreliable they could be during the Nightgrave case. He heavily emphasized how exclusive this deal would be for me. Looking back on it, he was probably trying to make me dependent on his services. Yeah, I guess you made the right choice by refusing his offer. Products from Von Sanctus. Anyways, have any of the tools from Von Sanctus Industries been reported missing? The Inquisition actually asked me the same question, so I took some time today to check my inventory. Why would the Inquisition ask him for that? Did Steel One come to the same conclusion you did? There was one tool that was unaccounted for. Really? What kind of tool was it? A rod of mending. It's a large tool we use to repair damage on the machines. A tool for repairs. How large was it? Quite large, actually. It's called a rod, but it's more of a large cylindrical tool. It requires 2 people to properly carry and use it. Wait, a repair tool like that would use transmutation magic, right? That's right! What if the Rod of Mending was the thing that weakened the guardrail? Oh. Is that possible, Dracogen? I suppose that is possible. Now that you mention it, I recall there being a way to reverse its effects. You never even considered that the transmutation traces were left by an artificery tool. That does lift some suspicion off of Aster. Rod of Mending. Someone could have sabotaged the rail with the rod, and they might have thrown it into the vat to cover their tracks. But it didn't completely dissolve. That would mean that they threw the rod in close to where Justin fell off of the walkway. It can't be a coincidence that these 2 events happened so close to each other. We still have no idea who actually broke the guardrail. We didn't find a second body in the vat, and we don't have evidence that proves a second victim even exists. I feel as if we have more questions than answers at the moment. We've learned a few new facts about the case, though, and the Inquisition has verified the traces of transmutation on the guardrail. The burden of proof is still on the prosecution to prove that Dracogen is at fault. Even if Steel One has a proper explanation for that, I can counter it with the facts we've learned thus far. I just hope that the trial goes as smoothly as you're describing. It rarely ever does, but knowing that would just needlessly stress him out. Regardless, I appreciate the work you've done thus far. I'll leave things in your very capable hands. You just hope that you don't encounter any more curveballs tomorrow. Would you like to save your progress? Yes, I would. Oh, we're back in the courtroom already. All right, we got about 20 minutes, so we'll see how far we can go. My favorite cutscene, the judge with his gavel. Court is now resumed for the trial of Stefanik Dracogen. Let us review the proceedings from 2 days ago. At first, the facts of the case seem very straightforward. The victim, Justin Way, put his weight on a poorly maintained guardrail on the refinery grounds. Said guardrail broke, causing Justin Way to fall to his death. However, the defense presented a shocking piece of evidence in the previous proceedings. Traces of transmutation magic were found on that same broken guardrail. This new evidence implies that sabotage, if not outright foul play, played a part in the death of the victim. This evidence is also accompanied by conflicting testimonies from witnesses. All these elements have thrown quite some doubt on the validity of the prosecution's case. Yes, however, the prosecution maintains that the Dracogen Trading Company is at fault for Justin Way's death. Even though someone may have sabotaged the guardrails, the prosecution acknowledges that sabotage may have occurred at the scene of the accident. However, we also believe that there are several factors in this case that the court is overlooking. As we all know, several witnesses were present at the refinery at the time of the accident. The harbor master was shown was showing a patron around the refinery. Rika Tudor was making a food delivery and entered the building. And of course the victim, Justin Way, was obviously present as well. Each and every one of these people had no business being in the refinery that night. In the case of the harbor master and his patron, it would be hardly reasonable for anyone to stop them. You doubt anyone would stand in the way of the Crown Prince. That may be, but Justin Way worked in the freight division and should not have been at the scene. I've already verified this with my client. The victim was not authorized to be in the refinery building. And who stopped Justin Way from entering the area unauthorized? Isn't it the defendant's duty to prevent such individuals from entering the building? My client can't be held responsible for Justin's breach of the set protocols, and you surely can't hold my client responsible for someone sabotaging the guardrail. This so-called sabotage is only theoretical until a proper culprit is found. I might be compelled to agree with you, Miss Steelwind. After all, there's no hard evidence that proves the traces of transmutation were left by a specific spell. What kind of mental gymnastics is that? Every part of the guardrail that had traces on it was rusted. They're bending the context of what happened to suit their purposes. Hard evidence means everything here, and the rod of mending has been reduced to shards in the vat. Without the complete rod, you can't prove that someone used it to sabotage the guardrail. Regardless, is it not the responsibility of the Dracogen Trading Company to ensure that its employees do not wander into restricted areas? Blaming a potential saboteur puts the cart before the horse. It doesn't just stop with Justin Way either. Why was Rika Tudor able to enter the building? She doesn't even work for the refinery, yet she was able to waltz into the building without any trouble. Actually, Steelwind does have a point about Rika. Shouldn't something have stopped her from entering that area? You doubt that Dracogen would show that kind of negligence. If that's true, I believe we should hear from Miss Tudor directly. Let's hear how easily she gained access to the refinery on the day of the accident. We've already anticipated that. Rika Tudor is prepared and ready to testify. Very well then, bailiff, please escort Miss Tudor to the stand. Miss Tudor, are you aware of why you've been called here today? Yeah, I heard everything from the gallery. Then you'll have no problem answering the following question. Did you encounter resistance when you entered the refinery at the night of the accident? Witness, may I remind you that you are under oath to tell the court everything that you know. Failure to do so is a crime. No, no one tried to stop me. Sorry, Tyrion. You have nothing to apologize for, witness. The only one at fault is the Dracogen Trading Company and their negligence. Hey, that's... For the record, please testify in detail about how you entered the refinery that day, Miss Tudor. Okay. That day I was looking for Justin in the freight area, but I couldn't find him. I decided to look for him in the refinery's main building. There was some kind of magical door leading into it, but it was unlocked. Nothing really stopped me from entering the refinery building. Ooh. I think I have a theory. As the court can clearly see, there were no safeguards preventing the witness from entering that restricted area. The witness clearly stated there was a magical door leading into the building. This was obviously some sort of security door powered by artificery, which was still unlocked and effectively useless. Damn it, there must be a way to prove that the unlocked door wasn't Dracogen's fault. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. I have a thought. What might have been the real reason that Justin was in the refinery at that hour?
Was he going to commit a crime?
He was going to steal something from the safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the notes show that he has tools at his disposal which will unlock magic doors. Well, doors, magic or not. So I think we have to find out where this contradiction is. That day I was looking for Justin in the freight area, but I couldn't find him. You were there to deliver his dinner to him, am I correct? Yeah, he was usually in the freight area around that time. I was surprised when I didn't see him there. I was a little worried, so I decided to look for him in the refinery's main building. Seems strange that you'd go looking for him. Why not just leave his food with one of his co-workers? I thought of that, but I also wanted to make sure he was okay. I was the one that helped him get his job in the first place. It wouldn't look good if he left in the middle of a shift. How did you enter the refinery building, Miss Tudor? There was some kind of magical door leading into it, but it was unlocked. Press. By magical door, do you mean that it was a door powered by artificery? Yeah, I have a door like it in my restaurant too, but this one looked like a lot more complex. Why would you or Dracogen need magical doors anyways? The one in my cafe magically locks the shop when I close it for the day. I guess the door to the refinery building was for the same thing. But that means there was a mechanism to keep out unauthorized personnel, which was effectively useless. The witness entered the refinery and encountered zero resistance. Furthermore, the Inquisition has already logged the specs for the door. Magical door. The only entrance to the refinery building is a door with an artificery lock. Magical keys can be used to unlock the door for 5 seconds. After these 5 seconds, the lock automatically closes the door and engages the lock. The lock can only be disabled by Stefanik Dracogen. The door could be physically prevented from closing, but this would trigger an alarm within the refinery security system. Did you use a key to unlock the door, Miss Tudor? No, I didn't. As you can see from this report, Stefanik Dracogen was the only person capable of disabling the lock. I guess Mr. Dracogen kept the door unlocked during work hours. This means that it's entirely Dracogen's fault that the victim gained access to the building in the first place. Wait, that's not what I meant to... But that is what you implied. Unless you can prove that another person disabled that door, yeah... You can't refute that statement yet, but you might be able to work with this new information. Regardless, please add that last statement to your testimony, witness. Alright. Mr. Dracogen must have disabled the lock. No one else could have disabled it. Aha! Let's save the game because I think I know what we're gonna do here. Are you guys in agreement that that's what we should pursue?
Present the tools.
Present the tools. Let's see. Or just this, maybe. This talks about the safe cracking tools. Miss Steele, when you claimed that my client expressed negligence by disabling the door, this is the reason why the security door was unlocked and why the current witness was able to enter the building. That's correct. Your client's negligence allowed unauthorized persons like Justin Wade to gain access to the building. And regardless of any sabotage, Justin Wade died because he was in said unauthorized area. And what if I told you that another person may have disabled the door? Not because of laziness, but for more nefarious purposes. What are you talking about? If you recall, the witness entered the refinery building and spotted Justin Wade afterward. This means that Justin Wade entered the building before her. So that begs the question, how did Justin Wade enter the building? The answer is obvious. He entered the same way the witness did, through the unlocked door. Not quite, Miss Steelwind. Since this trial began, we still haven't answered why Justin Wade entered the refinery building in the first place. He entered the refinery building with the intent of robbing my client's personal safe. I already told you, Tyrion, he would never do something like that. You feel a little guilty about insulting a dead man's name like this, but it's the only possibility that makes sense. I'm sorry, Rika, but there are things about Justin even you didn't know about. The truth is that he was deeply in debt to a crime lord named the Eye Taker, and he was extremely desperate to wipe that debt as soon as he could. Crime lord? Ugh. I won't ask how you came across this information, Mr. Cuthbert, but what does this have to do with the disabled magic lock? Miss Steelwind, Justin owned a set of tools that he used for picking mundane and magical locks. The safe that he was planning to rob was located in my client's office within the refinery building. I have witnesses who saw Justin retrieve those tools shortly before the night of the accident. He clearly had a plan to disable any locks that stood between him and that safe. This means that it's entirely possible that Justin disabled the locked refinery door illegally. We're not actually going to bring them in, are we? Yeah, I'm kind of bluffing right now. You basically assaulted one of them. We both assaulted him, Tyrion. She says that as if it absolves her of any guilt. Hold on a minute. You can't just accuse him like that when he can't defend himself. I'm sorry, Rika, but his delinquent friends told me about his plan. He didn't want to rob Dracogen, but he needed the gold to wipe away his debt. If Justin wasn't the one that disabled the lock, that would only leave Dracogen. But there has to be an explanation when neither of them is guilty. She definitely believes in Justin, but a scenario where both Justin and Dracogen are innocent is too optimistic, if not impossible. But it's not as if you are entirely certain of what actually happened that day either. Alright, Rika, you knew Justin better than I did. Let's assume that you're correct. Neither Justin nor Dracogen disabled the locks that day. How did either of you enter the refinery then? Well, someone must have disabled it before then. Wait, let me think through this. Plenty of people could have disabled the locks. Maybe one of the employees got lazy and forcefully broke it. There was also that nobleman who was with Mr. Morrison. He's a mage and he could have used magic to do it. Could have also been one of the maintenance constructs. I saw one working on the machines. Maybe one of them broke the lock. Ooh. I can barely even begin to point out all the issues with your theories, Miss Tudor. If you recall, the entrance lock can only be disabled by Stefanik Dracogen. Even Mr. Cuthbert's theory makes more sense than your lists of suspects. She's right. It doesn't matter how many suspects she presents. None of them had the credentials to disable the lock. So why do you feel like there is something else wrong with her testimony? The defense would still like to exercise the right to cross-examine the witness. Huh, what a waste of time. Well, the court agrees with Miss Steelwind. We also recognize Mr. Cuthbert's right to cross-examination. However, I will not allow the defense to waste the court's time. If nothing substantial is gained from your cross-examination, I will not hesitate to end it early. Understood, Your Honor.
Oh.
Plenty of people could have disabled the locks. But as I've said before, Dracogen was the only person able to legally disable the lock. And Justin Way was the only person who had the skill set to disable it illegally. Well, how do you know that someone else didn't have tools like that? Certainly possible, but unlikely. The ability to pick a magical lock seems like a rare skill for anyone to have. As far as you know, no one else was there unauthorized that day. Except for maybe Astor and Morrison. Maybe one of the employees got lazy and forcefully broke it. Karam, do you have an idea? I heard you a moment ago.
I have no idea. I heard something else though.
Okay.
I heard something. I was like, oh.
What'd you hear?
I have no idea. That's the thing. It wasn't. I don't know if it was from us or something else.
Okay. Maybe I said something and it came out the wrong way. I don't know. Maybe one of the employees got lazy. Steelwind, did the Inquisition find any evidence of physical tampering on the entrance lock? Not at all. Furthermore, if an employee had attempted what the witness is describing, it would have set off the refinery security system. I'm sorry, Rika. Well, there was also that nobleman who was with Mr. Morrison. He's a mage and he could have used magic to do it. The Harbor Master's companion would have no reason to perform such an act. Your personal bias might be clouding your judgment, Miss Steelwind. This isn't merely an extrapolation based on his character, Mr. Cuthbert. The nobleman in question had the legal authority to enter the building. He wouldn't need to resort to such underhanded tactics. Right, if the Crown Prince, he could legally enter the Arcane refinery if he wanted to. In fact, that's probably how he entered in the first place. You would probably know that since you two seem so close with each other. Is she jealous of our relationship with Astor? Maybe it'd be best to avoid bringing up Astor with her. Could have also been one of the maintenance constructs. I saw one working on the machines. Maybe one of them broke the lock.
Boy.
Maintenance construct? You know, those magically animated suits of armor? Oh, she must have seen an arcane construct while she was exploring the refinery. Arcane constructs only perform the actions that they're ordered to do. Whoops.
Oh, yeah.
And a construct at the Arcane Refinery will only take orders from their administrator, Stefanik Dracogen. Unless you want to imply that Stefanik Dracogen ordered the construct to break the lock. May I remind the prosecution that constructs are prone to error and misinterpretation of their orders? Perhaps this construct accidentally broke the lock while carrying out its usual orders. The Inquisition found no evidence of physical tampering on the lock, and even if they had, the security system would have been altered the moment this happened. Well, I guess you have a lot of contradicting statements to work with this time. Yeah, I need to find a contradiction that's not so readily apparent. One that's not apparent? There's another contradiction in her testimony? I'm not sure, but I can't help but feel like she said something that doesn't fit with what we know already. Ignore the list of suspects and focus on the other details. She observed a lot that day, so something must be off with her observations. All right. Plenty of people could have disabled the locks. Maybe one of the employees got lazy and forcefully broke it. Also, that noble bit Mr. Morrison, he's a mage who could have used magic to do it. Could have also been one of the maintenance constructs. But I thought the guildmaster said he was offered the constructs.
And he said no.
And he said no. Isn't that right? Let's see.
So,
Right.
Von Sanctus's stuff?
Products from Von Sanctus. Von Sanctus attempted to sell Dracogen a few arcane constructs. The product is not available to anyone else. However, Stefanik Dracogen did not trust the construct's ability to perform tasks effectively. He did not purchase any. Okay. So it's going to be, I think we present this testimony here. So what I think we will do is we
want
will
to save her meltdown for next week
Eh,
or tomorrow night.
tomorrow night. Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun way to kick things off.
Oh yeah. So, and maybe we can finish the chapter 2. Based on the flow of the game, it seems that it seems like there are 4 or 5 parts, and there are 2 days in court, 2 days investigating, unless something else gets thrown a curveball, So, so yeah, that'll wrap it up for tonight. Liz, do you have any insight or what you think about what might happen here? Because I know you have some great guesses. No, Liz? How about you, Neff?
Well, I'm just wondering about this little girl here because I'm going. There's something about the way she's ducking and dodging and throwing out theories that makes me go, something about her stinks.
So you still think? Go
And her
ahead.
ties with the Lord Moron there make me doubly suspicious.
Yeah. Bree, so now you're caught up on the story. Do you agree with Neff, or do you have another theory? Did we lose Bree too? What about you, Karam?
I'm leaning more towards Von Sanctus now. He seems a bit weird.
Well, yeah.
He might have been covering.
He might have been what?
He might have done it to make it look like an accident.
Oh. And what's his, well, yeah, if I go back to the game, what's his, where is he here? Abjuration. Well, yeah. So he is a mage. He could potentially do something, right? So. Liz, are you still with us? What do you think?
I'm not sure. I missed a bit, so I trying to catch up.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
no worries, no worries.
oh, we're going to, when we pick this game up tomorrow, we're going to present the fact that Rika claims that there was a maintenance construct that was in the refinery, but we thought that the guildmaster chose not to accept the arcane constructs from Von Sanctus, so there's an inconsistency there. So that's where we'll be picking things up. Neff's of the opinion that, what's his face, Von Sanctus is fishier than we think.
On scumbag.
Well, so, I guess Bree must have stepped away. But anyway, we'll wrap things up here, and we will continue this trial and hopefully continue this chapter and finish the chapter tomorrow night. Again, the start time at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can reach us on Instagram through those channels you see there. On our Facebook, and also we have our podcast home, xarpodcast.net. We have our Blue Sky home, our Twitch home, our YouTube home, and our Discord home as well. You can get to our Discord and all of our links by going to linktree.com/anime radio. So that will wrap things up for tonight. Until we see you again tomorrow to hopefully finish this game. For Neff, Bree, Liz, and Karam, I'm JR. Thanks for watching us play Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. Until tomorrow, remember,
Keep on looking out for the Extreme Radio Twitch streams, and don't forget, archive versions of our podcast are available at xarpodcast.net or your favorite podcasting platform. Good night, everybody.
good night. See you tomorrow after banana.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.